Okay, professionalism now, Charlie. Right, so I've been an employer for 16 years and I've learned a lot in that time. One thing that's never completely gone away is my anxiety. I have anxiety just generally in life. Um, and my biggest issue is the fact is dealing with confrontation, and that's all areas of my life. But in particular, in terms of my PAs, I have a lot of anxiety of I've in the past I've had PAs get aggressive with me. So now I have like some trauma around that, and it gives me a lot of anxiety dealing with confrontation or a conversation that my head might think could go to confrontation. Don't get me wrong, none of my team now would ever be rude, shout, or anything like that. But I think we can all agree that once you've had it happen once, it's in your head then. That niggly little voice is in your head. We've just had being an employer brings a real sense of independence and control, but it also entails a significant amount of responsibility. And for me, that responsibility can sometimes feel really heavy. A big part of my anxiety comes from the emotional side of being an employer. I often worry about things like a conversation that might go wrong or what might happen if someone gets angry or if someone gets so angry they quit on the spot. In the past, I've had PAs be aggressive and get really angry with me. Unfortunately, that's left me a bit shaken and a bit nervous. Now, even just thinking about if I get in my head that I think they might be upset with me, and I'm talking about like quite minimal things here. For example, one of my PAs wasn't brushing my teeth right. I didn't bring it up initially, and then for me, it sort of spiraled. And then I was like, I just froze. And logically, that's not a big issue, but I just got in my head about it. And that then meant that I just couldn't handle saying up front, right, you're not brushing my teeth well. So I have a team leader who is my mum, but doesn't have to be. You don't have to have a team leader, and doesn't have to be a parent. Could be any other family, a friend, even someone from your funding body can come in and help you deal with conversations that perhaps you might find a bit much. There's also a few charities in certain areas of the country where they can help with liaising and managing issues, and of course, our employers' insurance, they have got great advice for managing any issues. And I know that the one Mark Bates I use, they've always been very understanding of my insane anxiety. Confrontation is something I really struggle with. I find myself overthinking what to say, worry about how the other person will react, or feeling physically anxious before a difficult conversation. It's not easy when you rely on your staff to do such personal things such as washing, dressing, and that's a vulnerability there that makes conflict feel more intense. As a result, I've learned to establish systems that help me cope. I now have an admin assistant to help me with the more sort of paperwork sort of side of things to reduce my stress levels. And I have my team leader, my mum. And between the three of us, we tackle all the tasks and all the jobs, and that works really well. Um, just want to say neither of them are paid because I don't have the funding for that, but some people can get funding for that. So I've also had to work hard on my mental health. Meditation helps me slow my breathing and calm the physical side of anxiety. I have also been to therapy, and I had a very supportive therapist that helped me work through some issues from previous PAs and just difficult care experiences in general. During that time, I learned a lot of good techniques, and I can now now I'm a lot more confident to handle issues that probably about 3 years ago I never would have touched. I also find journaling really good. Like I know because some therapists they do that. They say write a letter to the person that's wronged you, and then they'll say some will, not all, burn the letter and it like lets go of everything. Well, for me, just journaling and not burning it. It just I find that really good. It helps me think about the situation, look at it a bit calmer, reassess, hang on, is this in my own head or is this actually something more than that? Because sometimes I can worry when I was really poorly at the beginning of this year and I'd lost my mind with sepsis and I got in my head that that everybody hated me and they were all gonna quit and I had an anxiety attack and then the heart went all over the place and that was great fun. And really, obviously, no one was going to. So it can be really frustrating when you get them voices in your head. I definitely think being creative, whether that's art or listening to music, can be really good tools to help you chill out, particularly if the PA's really peed you off. Sometimes I go into my room, turn my music all the way up. You always know what kind of mood I'm in based on the songs I play and just have an inside scream to myself. I'm not in a position for my girls to like go away, like out of the house. So I try and shut my door, put my lamps on, and then blast the music and just go in my own little world. And that's how I take my downtime if me and my peer having a conversation that isn't very productive. I've learned that it's okay to not be perfect. For a long time, I thought, oh, I'm a terrible boss. I'm not doing this right. I'm not doing that right. When actually, we're all trying our best and we're all good employers. We're all good bosses. It's just, it's such a complicated relationship. You can build such a wonderful relationship. You can build a great friendship if that's what you want for your situation. But I find I love having the family atmosphere, but I will be honest, there are drawbacks to that when it does bite me in the bum sometimes because PAs might, especially ones that have been here a long time, sort of push um their views or be very vocal about their views. And then I'm a bit like, oh, okay. Um, I make it a priority now when managing my responsibilities as an employer. I have set admin days. So my PAs know my set admin days each month. And then they know if there's an emergency, I'll deal with the issue. But if there's not an emergency and it's just a general thing, I will make them wait because just like they get days off, I think I should too. Like they get annual leave from being a PA. We don't get that as a being a boss. You know, we don't get those opportunities to have time. So I got really firm with my girls and reminded them that, hang on, I need downtime and I'm not available to you 24/7, just like you aren't for me. And I found that's been really helpful to help me with my sanity and just my anxiety in general. Um, But yeah, I've also loved meditation is another good one that I love. I have an SOS app on my phone. So when I'm in the holy moly, I might stab someone mood, I won't really, please no one take that seriously. Then I might meditate or something. Usually I just blast angry music, not heavy metal though. I'm not a heavy metal person. But yeah, that's my short spiel on anxiety and some of the tools I use is meditation, journaling, listening to music. Therapy helped me a lot. I done my therapy through the GP, so it wasn't private. But yeah, I have my team leader, my admin assistant that help me manage things, even just to help me talk things through. Another tool that I've been using this year that I found really helpful since I was very poorly this year. I've got a lot of cognitive issues now. And so I use Chat GPT when I need to talk to my girls about something, a particular topic. I will run it through Chat GPT and get it either to neaten it up so it makes sense. And then I will just practice reading whatever I'm going to say. I'll just practice saying it again and again until I'm really, and that helps me sometimes with my confidence with dealing with anxiety when speaking to the PAs, particularly about something that's a bit more confrontational or a bit more constructive criticism. The main thing I would say, one of the big things that reduces the chance, well, none of my girls would ever be shout at me or be nasty. But one thing that's really helpful that I've always learned is whenever you're going to give them a constructive feedback or criticism or ask them to improve a situation, you always want to start with some one or two nice things. Like for every bad thing you say, you want to say one nice one back because otherwise they can feel attacked. And sometimes in the past, that's caused confrontation between me and previous PAs because they've just felt like I'm saying you're useless and you're good at nothing. So I've learned probably the last 10 years that whenever you say something constructive or you need to have a firm conversation, start out with nice things. And I'm not saying like kiss their bums or anything, but just start with some things they're good with, and it will soften the blow and it will help reduce confrontation, which will then help reduce anxiety. But yes, that's me. I will now turn the recording off